Hey everybody, and welcome back to Detroit Tesla. If you are new here, welcome. If you're not, welcome back again. This is going to be a quick video, and the audio might not be the best on this. I'm going to try to actually get it the best I can. I was at my local service center. I have an upcoming delivery coming for a Model S Plaid in a video in a couple weeks. And they had a Model X Plaid. Yes, this is a 2026 Model X Plaid. And I noticed it as I was leaving, and they are letting me have it for 30-40 minutes just to review for you guys. Now, I want to be upfront with you guys. I've never owned a Model X Plaid, but I've driven them. They're amazing vehicles, fit your whole family, and you can get McLarens, Ferraris, and Lamborghinis with the whole family in the actual Model X. So before I start, if you are looking to order a Model X Plaid, Model S Plaid, Cybertruck 3, or Y, my referral code is down below. Go ahead and use it. A couple of you guys have used it since the Model S Plaid video, and I thank you guys. Right now, Tesla's promotion is 3 months free of FSD for your brand new Tesla. And I just wanted to offer that to you guys. You guys get more than I do in that. So with that being said, let's hop in the video. I'm going to try to be more in depth with this one since I know how it drives. So we're just going to come right here to the front of the car so you guys can hopefully see the different aesthetic changes that they have. Now, from the actual angle of this here, the front bumper, you think that, you know, it's looks the same, but it's actually a little bit different. The biggest notable changes right there is the actual Tesla symbol. Let me get actual walk up close up. It is now blacked out with kind of almost like a, it looks like a glossy black, but a little bit of a, maybe not really carbon fiber, but kind of a cool look. This is open here, but it doesn't let air in. It's kind of just a new look. I don't know if that's just like manufacturing costs and helps them lower the price, but that's what that is. And of course, the biggest notable change on the S and X that everybody was looking for is that front camera. So again, if the car is a little dirty, again, I just literally saw this and they let me test drove it. So I figured I'd make a 20-30 minute video. But, you know, that from the front, you also have, just like the S, the kind of slits here that is for aerodynamics. You obviously have the matrix headlights in the front coming across, same idea, and then kind of just backing it up a little bit so you guys can see. That is pretty much the front bumper. Now from the hood, it looks pretty much the same. It might be a little bit more beefier looking, but that's what it looks like from the front, just of a side angle here. So yeah, that pretty much looks like the front. You can see it is a little bit dirty, so I don't want to completely do like, let's say, like a build quality on the paint. But while we're on the front here, you know, I'm not sure if it's one piece now or it's separated. Oh, I stand corrected. It is two pieces. That might have changed because obviously everything connecting. But from the side profile, let's check it out here on the left driver's side. Give you guys a little bit of a close-up. Now, these rims that come on the 2026 Plaid are a lot better, in my opinion, on the X Plaid than the S Plaid. Again, all calipers come painted red, but they are not the track pack. The track pack only comes on the Model S Plaid, and you have to order it. But you can see here that these little things, I don't want to pop them out, they pop out. Now, that's just kind of the design. Tires wise, this is what size we're looking at, 275 45 R20, which is good for the rears. Let's check out if they're staggered. They are Continentals, by the way. I believe they are all season. Yep, so they are staggered. The fronts, excuse me, are 265 45 R20. So, very nice looking. I like it a little bit better than the S Plaid look, but hey, that's what it looks like. So let's come off to the rear. Now this is what the rear looks like. Now what's interesting is, even when I'm looking at this outside of the camera, the taillights kind of look more, you know, kind of like the old school. And I know you guys are going to say, you know, like they said in my last video, are you sure it's a 2026? It is a 2026. I can confirm it is a 26. And obviously that's the last thing the combustion fanboys see before you put bus lengths on them. Always got to put that in the video to remind them. But yeah, these are the new taillights. They don't look much different than the other like taillights from like the late 23 X and S Plaids. They kind of like, you know, kept that same aesthetic, which is, you know, completely fine. But that is pretty much the rear. Obviously you have the rear camera right here. So that's, you know, pretty much it. From the bumper wise, it looks about the same. I don't think they even changed that much on it. But let's go ahead and pop this and start our tour inside the vehicle, and just so you guys can check it out. So you got space here. I'm not sure if that comes with a mobile connector or not, but that's there. That's your tow hitch, I believe, that they install for you at installation. You got your pocket down here, more room here, a light, 12 volt here, which is interesting because SX, 3 and Y are still on 12 volt instead of the 16 volt, 48 volt mid voltage system of the Cybertruck. So then here you have the back seats. You can get a back angle of what everything looks like. And this is the big debate of the new Model Y, kind of large, they're calling it, XL. It's supposed to be just as big as the X. I don't think that's going to be the case. That seems to be the argument in the Tesla community. But that is kind of the back area. So I'm going to keep this open because I want to show you guys a shot eventually. So let's start hopping into the Model X. Let's start, you know, next row over. Obviously the really, really badass door that opens. I'm telling you, that's a big flex for the ladies. So yeah, pretty much you have the pass-through here for your passengers like smaller children or your friends that are like a little bit shorter, or, you know, if you do Uber or something like that, you know, that's kind of the pass-through. You do have some cup holders here for you to go ahead and obviously put some drinks. Obviously here you have the seat belts and looks pretty nice. This car has been taken out a little bit, so there is a couple marks here and there because people have been test driving this. So again, this isn't a representation of Tesla's delivery. They have gotten a lot better at that. So obviously this will move the seat front and back if it actually wants to work. Uh-oh, that's not good. But let's go ahead and close this door and try it from the other side. Let's hop around to the other side just to check it out. Always badass. Now, it could be, yeah, looks like that button's kind of messed up. That's a great thing for the video. But yeah, you can see this seat is actually moving, or it was. Maybe my foot needs to be on the floor. Terrible review, right? So yeah, you got some floor mats down here. You have the rear screen for the kids. You have some USB-Cs for you to charge and provide power and all that fun stuff. But yeah, that's kind of the rear area. You got some vents right there on both sides for you to make sure your passengers are cool. You got a light up there, kind of cool area. Some speakers here. Pretty familiar for someone that hasn't owned the Model X but has been in a bunch of them and has launched a bunch of Plaids. This is pretty familiar. So let's go ahead and hop into the driver's seat so we can kind of check out everything. And I'll give a little bit of a detail of the software tour that I didn't do in the Model S Plaid that you guys are requesting in the last one. Now, just in case you guys didn't know, all doors on the Model X are automated. So as you open it and when you actually have your phone synced, when you approach the vehicle, what's going to happen is that the door is going to automatically open, excuse me. So as you enter the Model X, you get in the driver's seat, you put your foot on the brake, and you'll see the door will shut. Just in case you guys didn't know, that is the same as always, just the Model X looking for the key. And if you guys didn't know, as you open the actual settings, you can hit close all, and all the doors, including the back and everything, will shut. Now, I don't think it's available from the screen, but if you want to open all of the doors at once, you have to, like, you know, hit every button and it opens. you can see that everything just opened at once, which is really cool. And I believe from the app, or if you have the key fob, which I don't have, you can open and close all of them at once for like a cool party trick. But here's this cool party trick. You see everything will close at once, which is really cool. And it's a little bit humid today, so I'm gonna put on some cooling for me because I'm starting to get a little warm here. But let's give you the interior tour of the new Model X Plaid. Now, you guys can't see it because it's a little bit light, but the LED lighting is there. So this is what it looks like. Going across, zoom in for you guys to check it out. So let's go ahead into the lights and let's play around with some of the different kind of lights. And I noticed that they're not all the way up. So this is a better shot of the LED lighting from the POV of a Model X Plaid owner. You can see it's a little bit better. The red shows up better. Definitely cool aesthetic. Definitely an upgrade. We don't have the yoke, unfortunately. I personally don't like the wheel, but this is the long glass piece as usual. The actual sun visors are still the typical magnetic from before, and you can kind of like lower them and raise them like before. You got your mirror, you got your cabin camera to watch you on FSD, and you know, the typical interior, you have this space, you have this popping out, which is nice. All this space down here, like usual, just to give you guys a little bit of a closer up view. And these are the white seats with black, which always, you know, anything with, you know, white seats makes it pop, except for that silver color that I did in the last video. But this is what the vehicle looks like when it's in park. This is the new UI that everybody keeps talking about. Really nice, really cool. I have the key here, so let's just put it in drive. Unfortunately, I don't think I'm gonna have much time for driving. So you can see as I touch the brake, I don't have, you know, the actual setting on for you to actually put it into driver reverse because I don't have my seatbelt on or the setting on, so I'm going to do it from the right screen. And in typical Tesla fashion, the windshield wipers turn on, and this is what it looks like. And it does have a little cool mode that says, are you in plaid, are you in chill? And I'm going to touch it from the screen here so you can see it switches to standard as I tap it on the screen, which is really nice and looks really awesome with doing that. And of course, if you know you are a Model S or X Plaid owner, and if you remember this, as you touch the scroll wheel here, you can make custom little quick available things, depending what you want, the brightness of the screen, save dash cam. I always kept it either on glove box personally, or I think they might have taken it away, was the, let's retry it again, the actual, let's see here, race suspension, drive mode. That's where it was. Whoops. Sorry about that, guys. Give me 1 second here. That's the loud suspension doing its thing. I always like doing this to trick people, put in comfort, which that is interesting. It used to be called chill mode, and now it's called comfort, right? Which brings us into the actual diving deep into the settings. So we're gonna put this in plaid mode, a drag strip mode, which is interesting. That they changed from comfort to chill. So let's check it out, and you see the acceleration is in chill. So that is something I noticed as a former Plaid owner. The car is still in drive, so let's put it in park. So you see the lights shut off on the UI. So I'm gonna center this so you guys can kind of see as I go along. So going into the settings, these are your basic controls that I was playing around with to open all your doors and close them. Your suspension is right here, so you can go ahead and play around with your suspension. Let's put it into low. All your basic stuff like glove box, opening, closing, wipers. You have all that fun stuff there. Sentry, turning it on and off. The tilt of the display is available. And then obviously tilting it back. And that seems to be pretty much everything for controls for basics. Up here you have your notifications if there's something wrong, or delivery status, your basic alerts, your garage link if you want to sync that, and your Bluetooth devices, and then your LTE and Wi-Fi networks. Now hopping back over, that's controls. We're going over to dynamics. So dynamics, like I was playing around with, had comfort, standard, plaid, and then custom. You can kind of customize it like before, all that fun stuff. Going back into plaid because we're not babies, and we're going to keep it on plaid mode 24/7. Your basic traction control mode, auto, slippery surface, stuck assist, which obviously if you put that off, goes that, and you could be drifting in a parking lot, which I'm not going to do because it's not my car and Tesla hasn't given me permission to drift. Maybe one day. Apply, brakes when regenerative braking is limited. Use comfort, drive mode, autopilot, auto shift, beta, park. That is what I'm talking about. So once I have my seatbelt in and I touch the brake, I can go ahead and do that. So that's all pretty familiar. Trailer mode, which is available obviously on this and the Model Y and the Cybertruck. Going over to charging, pretty familiar. Set your charging rate, how many amps, all that fun stuff. Schedule charging, keep excess power on. That's pretty amazing. And your supercharging tips, that's pretty familiar. Autopilot, traffic rearward control, auto steer beta, FSD supervised. Start FSD supervised from park. So as you know from the newer builds of hardware 4, you have that ability once you have a destination, your seatbelt fastened, and you can tap the brake and it'll go ahead. Kind of like the auto shift out of park beta. So your offset, full self-driving, kind of supervised, hurry, standard, chill. Hurry gets always in the left lane and rides it and goes around traffic quickly. Standard's a little bit in the middle, and chill is super chill. Now, obviously, ASS, which everybody likes ASS, actually smart summon, can summon your car. It's not available on my Cybertruck, but maybe one day, right? So then going off to the rest of this, speed limit warning, the chime, the display up here where the speed is to tell you speed limit, offset, forward collision warning, lane departure, all that basic stuff with the assist warning, all that fun stuff. Going into locks, you have your 2 key cards here and you can sync your phone. Obviously it's not my vehicle, so I'm not going to sync it. Your window lock, your child lock, walk away door lock, which you could exclude home. Pretty basic stuff here. Automatic doors. So if you look at automatic doors, the driver door will open, like I told you guys when we first entered the vehicle, when the key is near. Double click the key fob, passenger open to subsequent double click, right? Same thing with the key fob. Really cool setup. So then Falcon door height, you can do auto or low. That's pretty standard. It's been like that for the Model X for a while. Close all with key fob. Like I said, if all your doors are open, you can close it with the key fob. Obviously same thing, my Q Connect garage. You got your notifications to leave every, the app to tell you, hey, everything's open or closed, your home link settings. Moving on into the lights, just your basic stuff, fog lights, all this fun stuff, auto turn signals, accents, and ambient lighting, which I showed you around. It's off, so I always love this setting. Even in the Cybertruck, they can hit it off, on, night only. That's always fun. Your ambient lighting, night only if not. And accent lights obviously are these lights that are like up here and down below, all that fun stuff. And you can go in here and change the colors of the ambient lighting. Dome lights, same concept, left, right. You can turn them on from here. Going into seats, you can control them, like moving the passenger seat up and back. Basic stuff. So you have heated seats for all. I believe the fronts are the only cooled ones. Going into display, appearance, just your basic appearance stuff, light, dark, auto. Vehicle logo shown in the introduction, and that's when you get into the car and you saw the Model X would show. Cybertruck has done that. They picked that up from Cybertruck, just trying to copy us Cybertruck owners, right? You can display the, display it tilted from actual right here under controls. That's just your quick controls, but these are the more in-depth controls. So then you have the driver display, center display, automatic blind spot cameras. So this is what they're talking about, which I love, love, love. And all Model S Plaid owners get that, which is really cool. Kind of tap the screen here, excuse that. And then just your basic automatic blind camera, like we were talking about, screen clean mode, where it blacks out the screen, you can clean it, wheel function, all that fun stuff, touchscreen language, just your basic stuff. Are you 24 hours or 12 hours for time, energy displacement, all that fun stuff, temperature, tire pressure. Schedule, you can schedule, charging if it's like off-peak charging to save money and just your basic stuff, or have it preconditioned before you go to work. Safety is just your basic, Sentry mode, disable the sounds, disable this, all this fun stuff. Real basic, all easy. Pin to drive valet mode, which is very common, and automatically call 911 if the air flag's deployed, which is awesome. And these are just your basic settings like Joe mode and security mode, and then you can actually power off the vehicle, more like a just putting it on reserve, I like to call it, from there. Service mode tells you your PSI, your camera visibility, wiper mode, all that fun stuff. Towing has your manual in there, jack mode, all that basic stuff. This is your software. You can see this is a Model X Plaid, 694 miles, Harbor 4. All the fun stuff telling you about your car, and you can name your vehicle. If you hit the release notes, it'll tell you more. Additional information like the computer and all that fun stuff. And then if we go to navigation, your navigation settings, avoid tows, highways, and that helps on FSD. Your trips, you can set this for how long, you've gone for a month, and see how much you owe or how much you've been using, blah, blah, blah. Your Wi-Fi, which we kind of got into the quick controls, and Bluetooth. So that is all the settings there. Obviously, you have your music here and all your different apps like every other Tesla, which they're more coming, and Grok is coming to our vehicles. This is the Start FSD Supervised from the pedal. Again, those are all the settings. Your navigation, you can switch the screen on this, if you want it more kind of detailed or basic. Your profiles up here, you can set your profiles. And yeah, that is pretty much the software. And that is the Model X Plaid. There's not much else to talk about. So, while we're here, let's just pop the Frunk just so you guys can see the actual Frunk Space. And this is the Frunk Space. It's just about the same. It might be a little bit bigger, but this is everything that's included. Some stuff, all that fun stuff. And my time looks like it's up with the Model X for today. So that is the Model X Plaid 2026 refresh. If you have any questions or concerns, comment down below. Use my referral code to use and order your new Model X S3 wire Cybertruck. And of course, just to end the video, what's a Model S Plaid launch video without doing a launch? And that launch control is very quick compared to the old Plaid. And of course, as always, it's a Plaid. I'll see you guys in the next one.